Let's start with unit number 2 in Foundation Course 3, and the name of the unit is Dealing with Environmental Concerns. As you know, students, in this unit we will be majorly dealing with disaster, that is disaster related concepts, various types of disaster and how to cope up with disaster. But before moving on into this, we must know about the origin of the term disaster. So, disaster came into English language during 16th century. It is derived from the French term disaster. Now let's understand the definition or the concept of disaster. So here we are having two definitions, one given by WHO, that is World Health Organization, that is WHO has defined disaster as any event concentrated in time and space. That means disaster has a particular time and space. Okay, for example, if we take COVID, we will say that it started since the year 2019. If there is flood, we will say that on 26th July 2005 there was heavy flood in Mumbai, right? So it has particular time and space in which a society or a relatively sub-sufficient division of a society. So this means what? Either the entire society is affected due to a disaster. This can happen in case of COVID, a pandemic, right? Or a relatively sub-sufficient division of a society. That means a particular region, a particular area. For example, Mumbai floods, where only Mumbai is affected. Assam floods, where only Assam is affected, right? Further, undergoes severe damage, danger, and incurs such losses to its members. So there is losses, there is danger to whom? To the society members, as well as physical appearances. Appearances means which affects the lifestyle of people, right? For example, because of COVID, right, we are not able to have our regular physical lectures. We are not able to enjoy our routine life. We have to follow certain norms of the society, right? So this is in case of COVID. Same way, in every disaster, there is some or the other rules that have to be followed because your lifestyle is affected. That further, that the social structure is disrupted. As I told you, you're not able to enjoy routine uh, daily life. Society's functioning is affected, and the fulfillment of all or some of the essential functions of the society is also prevented, right? Like for example, during COVID we are not able to travel via trains, correct? There are certain restrictions that are implemented, which was not in the case if there was no disaster, right? So this is the definition which is given by WHO, that is WHO. Second definition is given, just it's a general definition. So let's understand the definition. Disaster can be defined as sudden or accidental event of great magnitude which causes considerable damage to life and property, right? Whenever disaster takes place, it most of the times it is sudden. Okay, it doesn't come with planning, or it doesn't come that okay, on so and so date I am coming, be prepared, right? It never gives us such indications. Though today we are having such systems where through few signals and we get to know certain things where we give people warnings, but most of the times it is sudden, or sometimes also accidentally a disaster takes place. For example, some chemicals are released through some factories, so it's an accidental uh, event that has taken place of great magnitude which affects and causes great damage to life and property. Further, they are sudden, drastic and generally occur without any warning. As I told you, कोई warning नहीं मिलता है, it just takes place anytime. Some disasters may be short-lived, for example earthquakes, while others may be of long duration like floods You can also take the example of COVID. We are going through this situation since a long time now, right? It's almost 6 months now that we are under lockdown, right? So in case of earthquakes, it is short-lived. It takes place for a certain amount of time and it is done. But in case of pandemics or any other viruses and all, it affects for the lifestyle of people for quite a long time. This slide gives us classification, or it gives us an overview of various types of disasters. So mainly there are three types of disaster. One is natural disaster, second is man-made disaster, and third is hybrid disaster. Within natural disasters, we have earthquakes, tsunami, volcanoes, floods, droughts, cyclones, and avalanche. In man-made disaster, we have nuclear accidents, forest fires, chemical industry, and last is hybrid disasters. Hybrid disasters are basically those disasters which takes place through a combination of man-made as well as natural events. So it's a mix of both natural as well as man-made. So which are those disasters? For example, destruction of forest as well as oil spill. Now let's understand various causes of disasters. So students, there are different reasons for the disasters to take place. Now the reasons listed in the slide basically gives a boost to the negative impact of the disaster to become huge. Let's see which are those reasons. One is poverty. Students, poverty is one major economic problem. It is the single most factor which increases people's vulnerability to disaster. All the more if people are not educated, it makes the situation worse because they do not know basic warnings. They do not know what are the basic precautions that can be followed, which are the the basic aid, right? The aid that is given just after the disaster is over. So all this requires knowledge, so which poor people are unable to get because they are not well educated. And because of this, what happens is the death rates go on increasing at a rapid rate, and this is major problem of developing and UDCs, that is underdeveloped countries. Second cause is population pressure. So uncontrolled population growth also boosts up the negative impact of disaster. For example, if you take the case of COVID, it is observed that those countries or those regions where population is in control, so those region or country are able to very well manage or uh, cope up with the COVID situation. So there maybe the positive cases or the death rates are lower than those regions where there is too much of population. And that is the major reason why our country thought to uh, aim to reduce the negative impact of COVID, or to reduce the death toll or the positive cases in Dharavi. So now if you observe, the cases in Dharavi have reduced considerably. So this is because of our rapid disaster management team working on it. And this is taking place because we are having huge population. On the other hand, suppose if a country controls the population, okay, so and with this effort, effective laws, if they are implemented, then the disasters can be controlled. If proper medical facilities are provided, proper people are having access to economic resources, then the impact of disasters can be reduced. Next cause is rapid growth of urban areas, that is nothing but urbanization and migration. Migration is where rural people are migrating. We are talking about the rural migration, sorry, the urban migration, where rural people are migrating to urban areas in search of better jobs and better lifestyles. So in this case, what happens, it is the urban areas that are getting affected, right? Because these people are living mostly in slums, They do not live in posh localities. They're living in slums, right? And because of this, we observe that there is always, every year we will hear that there is a problem of floods in urban areas, right? Because there is no proper drainage system. We are not planning the city. We need to plan the city so that there are no such problems taking place. And because of this small little problems, it then creates into a huge disaster later on. For example, flood. Next cause is competition for scarce resources. So there are many people there, the population is high but resources are less, and this is the reason people are you know doing deforestation. Urbanization, rapid urbanization is taking place. Why? Because through deforestation people will get fuel, they will get wood, and so that they can fulfill their basic need. And because of deforestation, further it is resulting in disaster like floods, desertification, and so on. Another reason that causes disaster is environmental degradation. For example, deforestation, students. Deforestation further is leading to floods. Another example is of drought. Today that we are going through drought conditions in Maharashtra. Why are we going through? Mainly because of not proper cropping pattern, overgrazing. Farmers are also forced to follow these patterns. Why? Because population is huge. So all these poor patterns is also affecting our environment, further causing many disasters. Further, next reason is wars and civil unrest. Now basically whenever there is a war, or whenever the society is going through under any kind of political instability, it can also result in disaster. Right? Wars can displace people. People move out from particular region and move to another. They are then called as refugees, right? So most of the wars can also take place because of factors like very less amount of resources available in the region, or any religious intolerance practice that is taking place in a particular area or a region, or ideological differences. That means difference in thinking, differences in living style, where people don't have their own opinion. So all this might also boost up to the other causes which result in disaster. And last and final cause of disaster is lack of awareness and information. This is also a major cause. Why? Because as I told you earlier, people are not educated and they do not know what are the various protective measures to be followed, which are the different evacuation techniques that can be implemented, or which are the safety measures that they can take place, that they can follow during the disaster, right? And because of this, this results in the negative impact, okay, to the society, which may be so severe, okay, and where people even do not know what to do and whom to call for assistance during the disaster. So this is majorly why lack of awareness. So this is the final cause of disaster. Now let us understand the effects of disaster on human life. So there are various effects that a disaster creates which affects our human life. So which are those effects? Physical effects, social effects, economic effects, and psychological effects. Now let's understand each of these effects in much depth. Effects of disasters on human life. First effect is physical effect. Under physical effect, we have first reason, that is death. Often disasters like droughts, floods, and cyclone result in the death of several people. One such incident that happened was in India, in Bengal. That is, the highest death toll was recorded in the year 1969 due to famine. About 10 million people had died in this famine. Second reason is physical injury. Disasters like earthquakes, floods, and cyclones make several people injured. A very good example for this is the earthquake, the Gujarat earthquake that took place in the year 2001, which injured 1.7 lakh people. And again in the year 1993, there was another earthquake in Latur which injured 30,000 people. Next reason under physical effects is the spread of diseases. Now usually after the disaster, there are certain diseases that take place. So there is outbreak of diseases that take place. Now this is most commonly in types of disasters like floods and cyclones. So let's now understand which are the type of disaster related diseases. One is waterborne diseases. Waterborne diseases are the diseases that are spread due to consuming contaminated water. So for example, diarrhea and cholera. Second is diseases associated with crowding. So for example, if there is overcrowding in certain places like relief camps or certain particular areas, then it results in the outbreak of disease. So examples of these diseases include measles, meningitis, etc. Now today there is COVID situation that is there in around the world, right? So this can also be because of crowding. So that is why we are following certain norms, right? Social distancing and so on. Third is vector-borne diseases. So vector-borne diseases is basically those diseases that take place due to insect or animal bites. Now this is mostly due to biting of mosquitoes, that is called as malaria. And last is diseases that take place due to lack of nutrition. Now these diseases take place because of loss of livelihood. That is most probably it is the agriculture or agriculture related um, occupations, like, so that is the result, that is the reason why mostly it is the scheduled tribes that are affected and they suffer from lack of nutrition. Next effect is social effect. Now disasters also lead to social effects on victims. So let us see which are those social effects. First one is social evils. Now, because, as we know, because there is lack of food, shelter, and spread of diseases in disaster affected areas, so generally people, what do they do is they migrate to nearby urban areas. Okay, why? So that they get jobs in search of employment. So now these people who have come to urban areas, obviously the work is not waiting for them, the job is not waiting for them, they for certain period of time they are unemployed. So that certain period of unemployment, they also need to earn money in that period as well, right? So as we know, the easy and most quick way to earn money is to commit social evils like murders, robberies, right, so that they can earn their livelihood. Second effect is social relations. Now students, most of the disasters affect the social life of many people around. Survivors lose their friends, relatives, their colleagues, etc. because of disaster. And thus this affects the social relationships. Third effect is caste and communal discrimination. Now it is always observed, students, that after the disaster is over, the survivors, that is people who have survived a particular disaster, have often complained that they have to go through certain caste and communal discrimination. Like we have an example here. For example, after Gujarat earthquake that took place in the year 2001, there was caste and communal discrimination. In what? In terms of distribution of reliefs. That is, for example, the first aids that people receive, the basic food supplies that they get, milk, bread, right, food to eat, clothing, medical supplies that they get. So it was discriminated. This was the response of the survivors. And the last effect is caste and communal disturbances. Now usually man-made disasters lead to caste and communal disturbances. Like we have here an example that was the Godhra train burning that took place in the year 2002, that resulted in communal riots between Hindus as well as Muslims. Next social effect is the adverse social effect on women. Now, it is usually observed that in disasters which are man-made disasters like war or riots, women are adversely affected. So there are men who target women and young children. So they are often molested, raped, etc. Next effect is the social problems of STs, that is scheduled tribes. Now students, it is always observed that tribals are very simple people and they always follow a traditional kind of a lifestyle. So they are the people who suffer the most after the disaster, and that is in their identity loss. So they are displaced, and because of this displacement, this affects their culture and spiritual existence. So there is a negative impact on their cultural lifestyle and their spiritual existence. Next is economic effects. Under this, the very first one is that of unemployment and economic loss. Now, usually disasters affect or result in economic loss to the survivors. This is because in case of loss of property or due to unemployment. Now this unemployment can be for short term or it can be for long term. If it now in case of short term, people remain unemployed. Why? Because of destruction of their physical infrastructure or any damage to factories or damage to agricultural fields or their motor vehicles or their any kind of vehicles are also damaged. So they need time to rebuild. So that is why it comes under the category of short term. Now in other cases, unemployment can also be due in long term. Now, people remain unemployed for a long term. This is in case of any physical injuries. Okay, so if they are physically affected, so they are unable to go to their jobs or they are unable to perform their routine life, which they were before the disaster took place. So all these reasons affect the daily income of the people, resulting in economic losses. Second is economic loss due to loss of assets. People also suffer economic losses. This is mainly because of loss of property. So disasters such as earthquakes, tsunamis always results in loss of properties, and this becomes very much difficult to recover. Now here we have two examples. One is the loss of soil fertility in agricultural fields because of earthquakes, hurricanes, or some other or floods, etc. Other Another example I have here is wherein people lose their valuables like gold, cash, or any other assets. Next reason is economic loss due to injuries. Now, it is always observed that people also suffer from economic loss because of physical injury. So, it is seen that people have to spend lot and lot of money, maybe lakhs and lakhs of money in their recovery of their health and well-being. So, the government, though announces that it will provide compensation, but still up to some extent it is limited, and sometimes people do not even receive it. For example, I have an example here where uh, during the Bhopal gas tragedy there were around 5 lakh victims which were completely left out of the compensation which was announced by the government during the year 2010. So still, that's why we say that the economic loss that people go through is huge. Next reason is economic loss due to death of an earning member. Now in most of the cases what happens is there are households where if the family member was the only family member and who has died during a disaster, then it becomes very difficult for the other survival family members. So they are not able to cope up about how to earn the daily income. Most of the times he was the only person who was educated, because in many rural households there is a case where there are many cases where the other family members like the women, They do not receive education, left to do the household chores. And if the only breadwinner, that is the male member, dies due to disaster, then it becomes extremely difficult for the family. So therefore they have to go through, the family members have to go through severe stress, strain, okay, after the disaster is over. The last effect is the psychological effect. Now usually due to disaster, whenever there is death of family members, friends or relatives, then people, those who have survived, have to go through a lot of mental stress. They suffer from depression, nervousness, hypertension, high BP, sleep disorders. It is also observed that people, those who are working, okay, their work performance is also affected. Why? Because they are not able to concentrate on their work. Even the school going children, usually they also are affected psychologically. They lose interest in their studies. They do not like to interact with their friends. They do not make new friends. They lose interest in their activities, in hobbies. So all these are psychological effects which people go through as a result of disaster.